Hey, what's going on, guys? So I got a request from a subscriber and he wants to know more about repairing kayaks and how to weld the plastic properly so you get a good repair that won't leak and it'll last a good long while. So we're going to go over it in detail and show you how it's done. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use some old plastic from one of my kayaks. It is polyethylene plastic. That is important to remember when you're doing these repairs. Any other plastic is not going to properly adhere to this type of plastic. So things you're going to need for this repair, the way I do it, you're going to need a heat gun. Just regular run-of-the-mill heat gun. I spent like 10 bucks at this at one of my local tool stores. I think it was Harbor Freight. You're going to need some sandpaper. And this is actually for plastic welding. Basically it's just a soldering iron, guys. I'm already heating it up, that way we can get this done. But this one works really well because it has this attachment on the end. It's nice and flat. You can work in the grooves with it really well, and we'll show you how it works. Essentially, you can get done with just a regular soldering iron. So we're gonna get it set up. I'm gonna fuse these two together like it'd be a crack. We'll also fill these holes. So stay tuned, we'll get it done. All right, guys. So say you got your kayak, a little extra plastic to do your welding with. We're going to simulate that this is going to be our actual kayak body, wherever the damage might be, whether you got a hole or you have a crack, right? We're going to start working on this crack. First thing you're going to want to do, get your welding plastic, your heat gun, and you're going to go to wherever your repair is going to be. Now, while your soldering iron is heating up, you're going to actually take your heat gun, you're going to heat this plastic. Now you got to be real careful because when you're heating it up, if you overheat it, you're going to burn the plastic. You're going to watch this plastic and it's going to get shiny. When it turns shiny, that's when you know you're ready to start fusing. You can get a proper fuse on this thing. So before I heat it up, take your sandpaper. Right, I know this is 2 pieces, but if it's on your kayak, you want to sand it just a little bit, knock off some of that surface dirt, crud, that old mud that got caked on from riding underneath the kayak down them rivers and lakes and all that stuff. I spent a lot of time in the marshes. So we're gonna sand it up, clean it up. If you want to take another extra step, get a really good clean spot, use a little rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol, denatured alcohol, or acetone. But if you use acetone, be careful because it will eat into the plastic. Alright guys, so we got finished sanding, it's cleaned up well enough for this. We're going to take our heat gun and I'm going to actually heat up this plastic as well as the plastic I'm going to use to make the repair. Alright guys, so we got it nice and heated up, soldering iron's nice and heated up. Now what we're going to start to do, we're going to come to the edge of our plastic. Now say you're on your kayak and it's a small crack and you don't want it to split anymore, you'll take a drill bit and on either end of that crack you want to drill this small hole. I mean tiny hole, super small drill bit, guys, on each end. That'll prevent that crack from spreading after this repair. So what we'll do, we'll come in with the soldering iron without anything and we'll kind of just start fusing that gap on the edges where you drilled your holes. Right, just kind of holds it in place for me. Alright. So now we can take our repair material, which is the same exact plastic, again polyethylene. There's many places you can source this polyethylene. Now what I like to do is come in and get a little edge of it, push it down onto my surface, and start putting it on there. Now what I can do with this triangle piece, I can actually come down this crack and slowly work it down. Not very slow, but slow enough that it melts. You go all the way down that seam of your crack. What I'm doing is I'm closing the gap. Now on just surface cracks or scratches, this would be good enough. You can kind of just smear the plastic and smooth it out, guys. Now for like a big through crack that, you know, leaks on the bottom, this is just the first step. So we'll finish this up. Now as you can see, I've fused it, right? Technically, yes, it could stay like this. But that's not good enough. It's not strong enough. So we're going to take it one more step. We're going to add a little more material to it to make it that much stronger. So we're going to put a little plastic on the end here. Put it over that crack, guys. Now you want to work slow and steady. Don't keep your soldering iron in one spot too long, because you will melt a big hole in your kayak if you're not careful. And we just kind of work it like welding. We're going to stack these repairs on top of each other for the time being. Now this is a very small piece, so it's going to retain the heat pretty well. If you're working in a large area like on your actual kayak, you want to periodically come back with your heat gun and heat down just a little bit further. But for this, it won't be that big of a problem, guys. So as you can tell, we're starting to get some material back to this piece. Just slow and steady. This is not something you guys want to actually just rush through, especially if you want a fairly clean repair. Take your time and it'll turn out pretty good. What I like to do is just smooth it back towards what I've already repaired. That way it blends in nice, everything meshes together. And I like to come out a good, you know, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch past the crack where it happened. That way you get maximum bond for your repair. Now, the more time you take, you can make this smooth, look pretty good. Put more plastic down. Now, I will caution you guys, do this in a well-ventilated area, right? You are melting plastic, or if you're going to do it inside a garage, say it's really cold outside and you don't want to be out there, I highly recommend wearing a respirator. For this, you guys got to be able to hear me, so I've got my garage door open and it's letting in plenty of air for me, so we'll be good. Alright, smooth that out just a little bit. It's actually cooling down a little bit on me, so heat up the plastic again. You don't want to add too much heat to the kayak body, guys, because it will warp that plastic. So just take your time, add a little bit of heat at a time, you'll be fine. We'll just keep on trucking here. I didn't do my due diligence and clean my soldering iron before this, so I got some old burnt plastic in the mix, but it's not going to affect anything for this. Alright, pretty much does it right there. So, as you can see, it's still hot, still shiny. It will cool down, it will fuse together. That piece is back together. It is one piece now. You can see on the back side, the crack's still there. Front, good to go. That would last you guys. Like I said, that would last you guys. So if you're in a spot on your kayak that you can get to both sides, I highly recommend doing both. Say you're on the inside of the kayak and you want to, you know, just make super sure that this is gonna hold. You can fuse the inside as well and just make it that much better. If you're not, there's another solution to this as well to bulk this up. They sell kits for this, and what you can do is add a metal mesh, almost like patio screen, down first. What you would do is heat it up, again, just like normal with your heat gun. You would fuse down that crack after you've drilled your holes. And once you get that done, you put that metal mesh over it and make it overlap by about 1/2 inch on either side. Take your soldering iron and you will literally just push down on the screen and work it in. You'll watch that plastic come up and encase that metal mesh, and then come over and cover up all of that metal mesh, and it'll be even stronger than when the factory made that kayak, guys. I had to do that one time on one of my kayaks, and it lasted solid 2 years of use with the repair, not a single leak. So what we'll do now, we'll flip this over and we'll go over repairing a hole. I know a lot of you guys, you know, you mount things, you change your mind, you drilled a bunch of screw holes in your kayak and it looks ugly, and you want to, you know, fill them in, make them not look so bad. So all you really would have to do is come in with your soldering iron, just kind of generally heat up the area, start getting the plastic to melt just a tad bit. Take some of that repair material, melt it down, just kind of push it towards where you want it. This doesn't take much, it's more of a superficial repair than anything. And bam. Right there, you can kind of massage it in, add plastic as necessary. And as you can see, that hole is filled. It's not there anymore. You can carry on with your life and not worry about that ever melting or leaking, or just, you know, you don't have to look at it anymore. Alright, so as you can see, the hole is filled in now. Like I said, it's more of a superficial repair. It's just to cover up the hole, eliminate any small leaks, whatever. It's for you guys to, you know, feel better about not having a bunch of holes in your kayak. Now, what you could do from here is, you know, repair all your small holes. You can, you know, just kind of take any surface scuffs, and you can kind of just literally work this down and smooth it out, blend it back in, and you'll be good. So I hope this helps you guys out with any possible repairs you might need to do. If you have any questions, comment down below, and I'll either answer them or I'll make another video for you guys. Thanks for watching.